Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. EFCC Acting Chairman and DSS Director General appear before Senate Committee as the lawmakers begin probe of clashes among security agencies. Governors approve the withdrawal of $1 billion from the excess crude account to fight insurgency. Court denies bail to alleged husband killer Mariam Sanda, adjourns case to February 2018. And at least 4 children killed and 24 other persons injured after a collision involving a train and a bus in southern France. A quick reminder now that for more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. And log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us on your mobile device, or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have access to the Eyewitness feature, with which you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and then follow the instructions. Let's take a look at some of the pictures that were sent into our portal, and we can begin with this one of a burning truck along the government house in Yola, Adamawa State Capital. There are no details of the cause of the fire, but thankfully there were no casualties. And next is this image from Bauchi Road in Kaduna State, showing this dangerous ditch right in the middle of the road. Our eyewitness reporter wants something done about it urgently. Staying with roads is this image from Adesina Road, Ilesha area of Lagos State, showing the poor state of that road. Our eyewitness reporter frowns on the trouble residents go through while on the road and calls on the government to do something about it. Let's end with this image from Olambe area of Ogun State, showing people whom our eyewitness reporter says are residents protesting an alleged blackout in their community. He's calling on the Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company to restore power. Do send us some more pictures when you can. Thanks for the ones that you've sent in already. A federal high court sitting in Kaduna State will, on January the 15th, 2018, hear a suit brought before it by the embattled former chairman of the Pensions Reform Task Team, Mr. Abdul Rashid Maina, seeking to quash the EFCC Act of 2004 on the premise that the act is illegal and a nullity. He's also asking the court to restrain the Commission or any other security agency from arresting him over allegations of corruption. Mr. Maina went to court after he was declared wanted by the EFCC for allegedly diverting recovered pension funds while serving as chairman of the Pension Reform Task Team. At the resumed hearing, counsel to the AGF filed a preliminary objection, arguing that the Federal High Court in Kaduna lacks jurisdiction to entertain the matter on the grounds that the plaintiff had filed the same suit at a court of the same jurisdiction in the nation's capital, Abuja.
The two suits are separate. What we are seeking in the court here is to nullify the act as it is. There in Abuja, what they are seeking there is as a result of an order granted by a magistrate court. These two things, in fact, they are like parallel lines that can never meet.
They are challenging an arrest warrant issued. If you are challenging an arrest warrant issued by a magistrate court, you are not to approach the court by way of an originating summons. The processes of setting aside such things are there in our Federal High Court rules. So that's basically what we are challenging before the court.
What should we approach?
Struck out for want of jurisdiction. That is what we are approaching the court for.
And the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is taking its fight against corruption to the nation's airports as part of efforts to reduce the misuse of funds and abuse of office by airport officials. The chairman of the EFCC, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, explains that there is a compelling need to eliminate practices that promote corrupt tendencies in the public sector. The managing director of the Federal Airport Authority, Saleh Dunoma, warns airport users to be conscious of their conduct as activities at the nation's airports are now being captured electronically with the aim of apprehending persons who violate the law.
Prevention, they say, is better than cure. Yeah, really. And we are not excusing ourselves from any other thing. We will do them concurrently. The two will go together, that the enforcement and the preventive measures. And you need to sensitize everybody, because some people don't even believe that corruption is wrong. They need to know. You have to sensitize them. Like somebody is trying to celebrate corruptions here. Somebody who has taken the Commonwealth. So many people who have worked, who have served this country. Somebody has taken away their money, and some of them died. Several of them died. You and me are witness to this. So we should not be celebrating criminalities. We should not be celebrating the corrupt. We should come back. Let everybody join us. All we are saying is that let everybody do the right thing. Finish.
Everybody is being recorded. Let the public know. As soon as you arrive at the airport, from the toll gate until you board the aircraft, everything is being recorded. And we can play that back at any point in time.
Let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Ibrahim Adra. Hey, Ibrahim.
Hello, Ijama. Good to see you. Now, the annual ceremony of the Nigeria Media Merit Award is Nigeria's biggest recognition for media excellence. And for the 12th time, Channels Television has led the pack, bagging the NMMA Station of the Year award for this year. Channels Television first won the award in the year 2000. Since then, it has won in 2001 to 4, 2008, 2010 to 11, and from 2013 till date. Our correspondent Chris Lems reports.
It's an evening to recognize media excellence in the country. Organizers, guests and nominees streaming in their numbers to be part of the event. The 25th Nigeria Media Merit Awards has over 50 categories of awards up for grabs, and pretty soon winners will emerge. But before that, a formal opening sequence is observed.
The reason we are here can bear repetition. It is to honor those younger professionals here for their contribution to excellence in the Nigerian media, and to appreciate them for their continued faith in us, as we also raise the bar from time to time.
For his strong support and contribution towards the organization and what it stands for, honor is accorded the first executive governor of Lagos State, Alhaji Lateef Jakonde. Also in this category is a special posthumous birthday for Alhaji Babatunde Jose, a founding father of the awards, as well as posthumous awards for the founders of Punch and Guardian newspapers, Olubunmi Abodenri and Alex Ibro.
On behalf of the President and
the Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, as a special guest, delivers a message from the federal government.
Today, more than ever, the Nigerian media must stand up to be counted. As our country continues on its steady journey to recovery and development, after years of misrule, characterized by a rapacious looting of our Commonwealth, the media must not allow Nigerians to forget how they got to this sorry pass. The nominees are...
The moment finally arrives for the anxious nominees to know their fate as the list of winners is called. Amongst them is Gimba Umar of Channels Television, who wins the Television Newscaster of the Year. The climax of the event is the NBC Prize for Television Station of the Year.
And the winner is...
Channels Television.
Channels TV.
For a dozen times, Channels Television is recognized and celebrated for excellence and professionalism in service delivery.
We believe in balance, we believe in fairness, we believe in professionalism. The journey has just started. Thank you very much indeed.
With the successful conclusion of the year's award, in spite of the numerous challenges, the acting chairman panel of assessors says the future is brighter and bigger for the NMME.
We wanted to make it big because this is the 25th year really. So we said, okay, let's make it low profile this time around. Then next year, we celebrate the 25th anniversary. And that one is going to be in Abuja, by the grace of God.
The NMMA celebrates media professionals and organizations that have distinguished themselves in the role of informing, educating, entertaining, and enlightening their audience. Chris Ilams, Channels Television News.
Many thanks, Chris. 12 in the kitty, and there is no taking of our foot off the pedal. Now, inadequate funding of the 2017 budget has been identified by the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami, as the major challenge that limits the operations of his ministry, including payments for legal services. According to him, the lack of adequate funding of the 2017 budget made it difficult for the ministry to comprehensively address critical issues such as training of judges and pay judgment debts. The Attorney General was speaking at a meeting with the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters during the lawmakers' oversight visit to the Ministry of Justice.
Members of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters are in the Ministry of Justice for an oversight visit. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters states the objective of the visit, which include a review of the 2017 budget performance for the ministry.
We are here this morning to continue with the constitutional requirement of oversight, and then also looking at your books to see how you have fared in the past 1 year in the execution of the monies appropriated under the 2017 budget.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice highlights the negative impact that the lack of funding had on his operations in 2017.
Our major challenge was in the fact of inadequate appropriation to comprehensively address the major responsibilities of the ministry. For instance, provisions for such critical expenditure as legal services, training, judgment debts, and even the capital items fell far below our actual requirements, thereby resulting in the ministry being unable to fully meet up with all its obligations.
Responding to the minister's remarks, some members of the committee asked the Attorney General to collaborate with other anti-graft agencies to reduce spending.
No matter the challenges that are being presented to this office, we encourage you, to see how we can collaborate with all the agencies that are concerned in the fight against corruption. All the anti-graft agencies and others, there is still much synergy coming from this office.
Other agencies that the lawmakers also looked into their books to benchmark their performances with allocations from 2017 fiscal year include the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, as well as the Nigeria Law School. Having listened to the various explanations on how monies appropriated in 2017 were utilized, the lawmakers say they are better prepared for the 2018 budget defense by ministries and agencies of government.
And now to the National Assembly, where the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating the operations of telecommunication service providers in the country has summoned some heads of telecom companies over allegations of non-payment of taxes and the required percentages of their profits to the federal government. The chairman of the committee, Ahmed Abu, explains that the heads of 9 Mobile, Etisalat Nigeria and Globacom Nigeria have been summoned following their failure to appear before the committee despite repeated invitations. And when the news at 10 returns, latest survey by NOI polls shows 28% improvement in Nigeria's banking population. That's when we return in our business news.